Hello and welcome to another comic book review. Today we will be reviewing Skits the Sun Book 1. Skits the Sun Book 1 is a crowd-funded comic book that was crowdfunded on Indiegogo. The creative team is a husband and wife duo, Michael and Karshina Sigenthaler. They did everything in this book except for the two variant covers. So Michael and Karshina, they did the editorial process. They did inking, coloring, penciling, lettering, everything. And the only thing they didn't do, like I said, is the two variant covers that came with this book. And so I want to dive into the story a little bit before we keep going on. But the story concept of this book is what really sold me on it, because this is not your typical superhero book. The book is about Skits, this person right here, and he has a problem differentiating between reality and the dream world. And throughout this book, he gives an account of his adventures, and us as the viewers, we also are unable to tell like what is reality and what is a dream world. Is he just making up these events, or did these things truly happen? And so that was a quick synopsis of the story. And I want to dive into another cool aspect of this campaign that which also sold me on this book. They Michael and Karshina, they promoted this book on Dan Fraga's show. And when they were on his show, they were talking about what they called a 3-book journey. And what they said the 3-book journey was 3 variant covers with 3 variant stories. And so I'm gonna go ahead and show off these 3 variant covers really quick. I'm gonna put the sleeve to the side, move this a little more, and here we go. So I got the 3-book journey, and these are all 3 of the covers. And first off, I want to say, like, these covers are phenomenal. I personally like every single one of these. The main cover, which is this one, was done by Michael Sigenthaler. This is my personal favorite. I don't remember off the top of my head who did these two, but these two are also very good. Uh, they're all different. They're all different art styles, and they all depict skits in a different way. And just great job, great job. But the thing that really sold me on this was that along with these variant covers, you get a little bit extra story, or not extra, but a little bit different story in each cover. And so what does that mean? In each book there is this specific event, and each book takes a different pathing to this event, and it's not a major event. It's just, it's just a small scene in the book, but each cover takes a different pathing to it, and it's about, I want to say, maybe 4 to 6 pages that are different in these books. And I thought that was just a great concept. I really enjoyed it when I read all 3. um, I love that idea because it also incentivizes people to get the different covers, because you're adding a little extra depth to the covers, aside for just the different artwork on the front. And so that was such a great idea, and it was very well executed too. Good job, Michael and Karshina. I personally thoroughly enjoyed that. All right, so I'm gonna put these 2 covers to the side, and I want to dive into the actual book. All right, so I'm only gonna show off a few pages. I'm not gonna spoil the story or anything, but yeah, let's just dive right in. And so, oh yeah, and this is one of the stretch goals right here, and this is just cut out. It's a cutout bookmark of Skits, the main character. So that was, that's pretty cool too. Put that to the side. Yeah, so we have the preface right here. Michael explains his inspiration for the book right here. I'm not gonna go too far into that, but here, this is the beginning of the story. to center this. And yeah, so you just plop right into the world right here. And one thing about this book that I really love, really enjoy, is that Michael Sigenthaler, he used different art styles throughout this book. And it fits so well with the story, and it enhances the storytelling of this book as well. And as we go on, there's 2 pages that I'm going to highlight, but I'm going to just bring us a little closer to the plot points. But so this is the beginning of the story. You have Skits right here. He was found basically outside the mental ward, and the mental ward, he's been admitted there for quite some time, but he was missing for, I think, if I remember right, I think he went missing for like 2 years, and then he just randomly showed up again, like he just plopped back right back into there. And so the psychologist, after these guys catch him, they bring him to her, and he is explaining to the psychologist that I'm assuming she's a psychologist, that where he has been. And so he's telling her, I've been off planet. I was on this alien world called Suliak, and then he goes and explains how he got there, where he basically slipped and fell, and when he fell, he just essentially teleported to that world. But before I go any further, I wanted to say something about these 2 panels right here, which I thought was cool. This is Skits, the main character, and this is the psychologist. But the psychologist, her look is based off of Michael Sigenthaler's wife, Karshina, who's also a creator of this book. And Skits, he's based off of Michael Sigenthaler himself. And I just thought this was a cool dynamic right here. And this is just cool panels right here. You have the husband and wife team right there talking to each other throughout the whole entire book. And I just thought that was cool. Wanted to let you guys know about that as well. All right. And so continuing on with the story. So Skits is explaining to the psychologist, he's like, yeah, I fell and I just was transported to this planet one time. And yeah, and that was the start of his adventure. And so this is, whoops, let me pick this book up. I want to show this page off a little bit. This is when Skits just plopped into the world. And then immediately we see the 2 different art styles showing off, or 2 different art styles being shown off on these 2 pages. You have, just regular drawings, traditional stuff. And then you have actual pictures and photos right here. And so you have Skits, who's being played by Michael Sigenthaler. And then you have the film reel right here, another film reel. And, it's just cool. I really like that because to me, these different art styles kind of show the instability of Skits' mind, where his perception changes just randomly. And I thought that was just a real cool thing. And so after this, he's talking to the psychologist again, and the story continues running downhill. He's going off to an adventure, and then you see the transition from colors to black and white, and then we get this real nice double page spread. And this double page spread, it kind of just shows off the fact that Skits is no longer on Earth. You have this huge skeleton right here with this is just a real cool drawing. You got the skull, the mandible, the ribs. Looks like possibly like femur bones or something. And then you got Skits, the little silhouette right there, if you can see it. And he's looking upon the world. He's no longer on Earth. And so we'll continue here. And he's continuing his journey, walking through the wilderness. He comes across these people right here, who are the native people of this planet. He startles them. They open up fire on him. The reason they open up fire on him is more clear later on in the story. I will not spoil that. I won't go over it. but it is made more clear um, as the story goes on. But these are the 2 pages I wanted to highlight. All right. So here again, we see 2 different art styles. And we have here on the left where it's just highly detailed. And I really enjoyed this page. Really enjoyed it, man. And I actually inquired Michael Sigenthaler about purchasing this page. And because I initially thought it was a painting, either a watercolor painting or an oil painting or something along those lines, because like you see this great amount of detail, and you see like the sunlight just gleaming off the moisture on the rocks, and then the little mist right here, all these different colors, highly detailed, and I liked it very much like this. And Michael Sigenthaler informed me that this right here, he did this digitally, and yeah, I was actually amazed. Like I'm not an artist myself, but I was not aware that you could get this amount of detail and this with this specific style of art through digital. So yeah, great. It sucks I couldn't buy it, but hey, great job, great art, and so we have this other page right here where it's not as detailed, and you see the colors are a little bit more dull, and some of the figures are kind of more dull. And the way I interpreted these 2 pages is that it kind of shows like the shift of awareness in Skits's mind, because here Skits is getting fired upon, and to me, what it says to me is that Skits is now, he's hyper aware, his senses are in overdrive, and yeah, like his mind's going a million miles a minute. And then when it transfers over to the next page, things start to come down. Like it shows a little bit of Skits's powers right here. He becomes translucent, and the arrows just pierce right through him without any damage. When he lands on the ground, he comes back to like his physical form. And then this bottom panel right here, you see that the colors are much more dull when compared to here. And then the figures that the people that fired upon him, they don't have color on them at all. They're just it looks like they're just penciled in. They're not highly detailed or anything like that. And what that says to me is that Skits's mind is possibly in some type of a fog, and so he's unable to think clearly and to pick up, on his surroundings. And I don't know if that was intentional. I don't know if that was the thing that Michael was going for while doing these two pages, but that's the way that I took it in, and I just thought it was just so great, like how that was communicated by just the different art styles. And so my hat's off to you, Michael. Great job. Great job. And so we'll stop looking at the art from right there. Yeah. And so this book I highly recommend to people. It's a very fun read. It's a cool adventure. And the art style, like I'm a huge fan of this art style, because the art style itself it enhances the storytelling aspect of the book, and it's just done so well. I love the different art mediums that Michael decided to use, and I applaud you, man. Very good job. And so, if you guys want to get this book, it's still available on their Indiegogo campaign, and I'll put a link to that. I'll put a link to their campaign in the description of this video, and go ahead and get that. It's in demand, so if you go ahead and they're also in fulfillment, so if you go ahead and buy it, you don't have to wait too long to get it. And yeah, it should be in the mail almost pretty quick. So yeah, good job, Skits team. I'm looking forward to your next projects. Hats off to you, and thank you everyone for tuning into this video. And also I wanted to say thank you to Leroy and everyone else, D-Wag, Crack Pack, everyone who who supported my other video and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate you, and thank you once again. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.